It's your girl Ashley Camille here at Fifth House Bloom. This message is for the cardinal signs. Cardinal signs for the week of May 20th through May 26th. This is general guidance, so please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. At this time, I'd like to welcome forth the power and the presence of the elevated guides who can assist me in delivering this message for the cardinal placements. I ask that you open up our ears so that we hear the truth of liberation. I ask that you open up our minds so that we may bloom. I ask that you open up our hearts so that we may embrace our divinity. I ask for assistance in delivering this message with clarity, empathy, and ease. I give thanks. How y'all doing? I'm using a different deck, so bear with me. A new one that I'm learning the energy of. But for our message this week, we have the overall energy, cycle of awareness, innocence, and wisdom. For our challenge, we have how do I embrace the unknown? Y'all, I think this was the same challenge card for the fixed signs. And then for our opportunity, we have cycle of reciprocity. Give, receive. Give me a second. So what is coming through initially is the way that you engage with being receptive and receiving. Oh, okay. And what have been your ways of going about getting what you want, getting what you need? There feels like the focus is on moving into shifting with your, because on the other, as it says here, on the other side of receiving is giving. And so kind of what it's getting at is still coming, but the motivation for the way that you give, the actions behind it, or what is informing, or what is influencing, or what is inspiring your giving. And I do mean it in all sense. But I want to expand that and to be clear, but yeah, how you give in a relationship, how you give your time, if you are giving gifts, like what's behind that, and in general, like your whole presence, and reminding you that like the way that we show up, especially if we are showing up in our light, when we are showing up in our life, it is a gift, but whatever we bring it to the table, that's what the fuck you're giving people, right? And so this is asking us to look at how we give within that context, within that very broad context, in relation to receiving. Is there a way that you are showing up, that you are giving, that you are providing, that is grounded in, let's clear this up. Grounded in old attachments, old beliefs, potentially about like worthiness, old ideas and expectations, right? So what is kind of coming through is us shifting and moving into giving from a more authentic place, from giving from a more abundant place, for giving from a more unconditional place, so that we can receive from that place too. Because right now, what it kind of feels like is there's like an imbalance in this cycle of give and receive. Yes, output, right? Like how much you might be giving, it might be an over giving. And the question is, why? what is that attached to? What do you expect in return? What are you needing in return? Like digging deep and getting into that. And this is asking us to do what it takes for ourselves, so that we can give from a place of gratitude, give from a place of self-love, and not from a place of from lack, right? Not from a place of trying to draw or attach things to us, right? We want to attract what is for us, but we have to do it from a more grounded space. So I'm sorry that this is very broad, but there's just so many different elements to it that is making it where I'm having a hard time like really nailing it, right? Because this is bringing up like past wounding from even the things that we have learned in old relationships, and it from our parents, like generational wounding, right? Like this is some deep things about how we learned what we are worthy of, or what we think we are worthy of, because we're worthy of everything, right? But the way that we show up in our worthiness, especially as givers trying to get our needs met. And so what's interesting is that lastly, I pulled, the message for the collective of this one, and the overall energy was about gifts and pleasure, right? So this energy of receptiveness showing up for all of us, but for you, it's getting at the root of how you learn to give, how you were taught to give, what are your expectations of what you give of yourself. And does that align with the most abundant version of you? Does that align with the freest version of you? Does that align with the pleasure that you are seeking to live into? Or does it align with a sense of lack, right? And so it's to sit with that so that we can move into more abundant ways of giving and receiving. I'm supposed to read the cycle of reciprocity. Okay. Give, receive. Okay, within the clear energy, the inflow and outflow in my life feel balanced. When clouded, which is kind of what it's feeling like right now, what the energy feels like. I am drained and or overwhelmed. Connect to the source, share abundance, surrender to the vulnerability of receiving. Some possible questions for working with this card. What do I have to offer? Where do I receive inspiration, support, nurturing? What gifts do I share? What do I long for? Where in my life does giving feel like receiving? Ooh. Where in my life does giving feel like receiving? And lean into that for recognizing this energy, because we want to increase what feels like a gift, what is a gift to us. And so especially within the way, last question, how do I water the roots of the tree that offer me fruit? This is what it's feeling like for us is that we are also putting too much into the things that do not put into us, that do not water us, that do not feed us, that do not nurture us, that do not fulfill us, that do not provide us with pleasure. And it's creating this vicious cycle because our giving in whichever way, whichever capacity is in an attempt, here it is in an attempt to get that nurturing, get that pleasure, get that fulfillment. And it has to come and be for us first. That is what the unknown is. The energy has been like put into everyone else, everything else, all of these relationships. I need to make more money so that I can then do this, right? Like the output of the energy of giving, when you need to be giving that to yourself in order to then come into right relationship with the cycle of reciprocity and giving and receiving, so that your gifts that you're giving are truly gifts, and that what you receive, whatever comes back to you, is a gift, is a pleasure. And so this is moving towards using pleasure as a guide, right? Using what feels good as a guide, in a broad sense of where you will then be putting your energy, but this is going into you. This is the process of gifting yourself. What gifts can you give to yourself? Baby. Okay, they want me to read pleasure. The pull I did for our overall collective energy. Y'all, never mind. Okay, fulfillment, abundance, satisfaction, contentment. The divine goddess smiles upon you, urging you to step into her luscious and beautiful garden and drink from her well of vitality and joy. Relax, have fun, and allow the good times to roll. Life is to be enjoyed, not endured. Whether it's a fun day at the beach or a rousing sexual romp with your lover, the divine goddess reminds you that there's nothing holy, superior, or righteous in resisting pleasure or hiding your beauty. I'm gonna say it again. The divine goddess reminds you that there is nothing holy, superior, or righteous in resisting pleasure or hiding your beauty. Shrinking will not get your needs met. Shrinking will not fill you up. Shrinking will not nurture you and lead you to pleasure, and it sure in the hell is not going to make the others and everything and the situations around you pour that into you. Okay? We have to do that for ourselves. All right. She has stepped into your life to remedy the sad fact that you are not taking joy in much of anything of late and have lost touch with your beauty. Life is at risk of becoming too black and white in shades of gray. I'm so nasty. I'm like, not 50 shades. And you're missing color. She sweetly advises you not to postpone your rewards until you're in heaven. Instead, she encourages you to enjoy a little heaven on earth. Indulge your soul in some delicious food, good music, close friends, and playful fun. Use her sparkle to inspire, to embellish your environment. Redecorate. Add a splash of color to your beige walls. Bring in fresh. I clearly want to talk about sex. But whatever. I said flesh. Okay. Bring in fresh flowers and make yourself beautiful as well. Perhaps try a new hairstyle, dabble in sexy cologne, buy new clothes. Overall, accept yourself as a beautiful human being. This is a harvest, a time of abundance and flow. Share your beauty with others. Be generous and don't fret about overindulging or getting carried away. And here I do want to be clear that in our beauty, of course, our physical, but there is a part of that is the authentic beauty of you, right? This is embracing the beauty in yourself so that others can see your glory, so that your beauty is a gift to be experienced, right? And so in order to bring the fullness of that beauty to be art and to inspire all that is around you, you have to see that and recognize that in yourself. And so I love all of this, but I want to be clear, because I don't want pleasure, I don't want good times, I don't want the idea of like indulging in sweetness to become a distraction from recognizing the sweetness that is in you. That is what we are feeding into. That is what we are enlivening, so that that radiates out of you and that attracts this reciprocal, or this relationship of real reciprocity. Something so that you look out and it is a reflection of the true nature of your beauty, that your world reflects the true nature of your beauty. Okay, so let me finish reading. Get used to the beautiful life and consider it your birthright to dance in the divine goddess's garden. Her question to you: how good can you stand it? I love it. How good can you stand it? For you, this is looking at where, because again, I said that energy is kind of lack, it's kind of a restriction. Where are you restricting yourself? Where are you saying that you don't get to have this? Where are you saying not now? Where are you saying that I can't do that? And why? Why? Okay, let's get some additional guidance for the week as we are and have been exploring this relationship with pleasure and how it informs our ability to receive. Who do we have here? We got Page of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. Give me a second, I'm gonna take my time. But before I get into that, it keeps coming up. It keeps slipping out. Like, if this has something to do with the body, if this has something to do with sex, it just does. It just does. But this is general guidance. Thank you for that, because it's taking me back to that understanding the relationship that we have with pleasure is informing this work. And by shifting our relationship with pleasure, we learn how to receive. Okay. Oh, so you are attracting attention. You are attracting eyes on you. Like the work that you've been doing, the things that have been going on. This is not something new, right? This is continuing over from the other messages that we have had. It's like people can see that wow factor within you at the core, and it shines through more and more. Why is so important? One of the big reasons it's so important for you to really be pouring into yourself is the recognition of this energy, because right now it's still attracting everybody. It's still attracting everything, right? Not just what is good for you, not just what is for you, not what is just aligned with your pleasure as well. So there's a caution, let me take that back. part of the refinement, part of the work, part of the recognition, and you doing this for yourself is so that you will have the discernment, so that you will have the information, so that you will have the knowledge to be able to say and to be able to stand in what is actually for you. You are going to have to be the one to make the decisions, right? And so you're going to have to be the one to sort through and determine and to see what is for you as you are moving forward and as you are growing, because some of the old stuff is still around, or some of the new things coming in is still attached to some of those old beliefs, that old sense of self-worth, that old low self-esteem, that old idea that you didn't deserve that, right? All of it is coming in still, especially as you are shining. And so the work that you are doing, yes, is understanding, is leaning in to, like that, bigging yourself up, leaning in to this gifting to yourself, so that the decisions that you make as you are accepting new opportunities, as you are seeking new opportunities, line up with what is to come when you are shining in the fullness of your brightness, okay? And not those old beliefs, that old wounding. Because it's not just the things that are gifts that's coming in right now. It's a lot. It feels there's a lot of bullshit around. It's what I'm feeling. I'm hearing now and reminded and called that, yes, some of that old is trickling in, or some of that like ick is still trickling in, but that the other pieces are present, and you need to be leaning into that right now, especially in regards to your relationships, your collaborators, your partners, and even like this general guidance. So like projects, whether that be personal, professional, whatever it may be, and leaning in to where these feelings already exist, leaning in more in those spaces, right? Spending more time with those people, focusing and prioritizing those particular things. Right? Going back, what feels like a gift, what feels good, what feels fulfilling, what feels pleasurable, what feels safe, what allows me to be vulnerable, what allows me to be my fullest self. Where am I not hiding any parts of myself? Where am I being lit up? Where is inspiration striking? What am I doing when these things happen? What time am I doing it when these things happen? How am I dressed when these things happen? It's so many different factors, but you're leaning into all of that. Actions. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Which one is this? Yellow. Death. It's the red. Because we are pursuing pleasure, fulfillment. Red. This deck, and this message about to be 40 minutes long. Red. What we have here, the Hanged One. And then Six of Pentacles. In the green position, Six of Pentacles. You know, in the traditional tarot, let me show you the card. In the traditional tarot, it's a picture, it depicts someone giving out, it looked like crumbs to me, and coins, but there's this, overall talking about the energy of, you know, giving and receiving. Give me a second. Take my time. Yes. Okay, hold on though. For some reason, I got the, well, not for some reason, like clearly with the rose, but it reminded me of the rose in Beauty and the Beast, and losing the petals, and almost like this, we're not talk about how manipulative they all were. However, if we take it outside of that, there was this rush to get this to happen, so that they didn't stay stuck as animated inanimate objects for the rest of eternity, right? And so then the focus became on getting the tasks done, on doing that, and it took them outside of the fact that, like, oh, they've been living kind of like, you know, where is the actual joy? What's available within this life, right? Like, it was always I'm looking for something else, instead of like actually being present in this life and actually, you know, making this life fulfilling, right? And so there is a call, and I'm trying to be careful with this, because I'm not saying don't go for your goals. I'm definitely not saying don't dream. Absolutely. But the goal is not to reach a life where you have all of these things that you think will make you happy, right? The goal is to live a life that you are happy with. And so that can be present in almost any, you can have that without having things, without a particular type of success, without a specific job, right? And also, come to find out, even though that petal fell, it wasn't too late. You know, and maybe I got the timing wrong, but Belle, you know, kissed him or cried on him or whatever happened, after all the petals had fallen, and they still all transformed. So it's never too late either, right? And so also it's never too late, and it's never just one way to get this, because again, we are seeking the life that feels like a gift, and that is living into it. And so here again, like with the death energy, in this position, there isn't a final process. There isn't a final step. It's more about the process. It's more about the cycle, and continuously who being present in that, and that cycle always moving towards growth, towards life, towards expansion. There's more with the Six of Pentacles. So with this, again, it's still like that energy of like the relationship, like who and what is for you. And just a reminder, pulling that back of, you know, what is life giving? What is life giving? And where you water, thank you, okay? Especially with Pentacles, you know, showing up here and showing up in this position of it being the material aspects of it. And so for you, it is time to start, this could be like literally investing, you know, with your money, with your time, with your energy. This is a looking at your day-to-day and your actions. This is a getting started on that projects, making a move on this relationship, right? This is like the actions that you take to move things along in the material world. This is applying for that grant. This is purchasing that course or signing up for that class, right? Again, not as a distraction thing or another one. I'm just saying that this is about that action, especially with the Eight of Wands here, and the opportunities are there if you're considering it, right? This is about taking the steps so that more of these gifts do show up in your life. Okay, that's the message. I return this energy to you. Or is it? Y'all want me to read gifts? Yes. Receiving surprises, kindness, blessings. The universe is constantly showering you with gifts. The problem arises when so many of these divine offerings go unnoticed and therefore unaccepted. Your joy guides are on hand, acting as messengers to help correct this problem. They ask you to start counting your blessings day after day, taking care not to miss any or take them for granted. Your joy guides delight in showering you with gifts and encouraging you to expand your heart's capacity to receive all that they have to offer. Start each morning by asking them to surprise you with something wonderful during the day. Ooh, I love that. Then just before going to bed, list all the wonderful things they bestowed upon you. See how the list grows longer and longer each day. Their only request is that you acknowledge these offerings and thank the Divine Mother and Father God for their endless generosity. The Joy Guide's message: open your heart and expect good things to come. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One of my teachers always talks about how good can it get, right? And so with this Hanged One and Death in this position, right, it is shifting out of that preparation, that bracing for the bad. It's to stop us from saying that or trying to prepare ourselves for our dreams not to come true. We're preparing for our dreams to come true. We are preparing ourselves for our dreams to come true. We are preparing ourselves to live in heaven on earth. We are preparing ourselves for as much pleasure, as much joy, as much juiciness as we can handle. And we're increasing our capacity to do so. All right? Okay. Now, I return this energy to you.